Hey everyone, it's Tosh. It's been a while. I haven't done a video in a while. I've been getting a lot of messages, and I just recently started catching up on my DMs. Um, and then finally, I got a couple emails with people asking me about the discoveries in Kemet, aka present day Egypt, okay? The chambers and aquifers that they found. Then everyone keeps asking me about the Ark of the Covenant because I did predict the rediscovery or talks of ancient relics happening over the next couple of years. That's in my yearbook 2025. If you have not already read it, you should. I touched on that there, and I obviously, those of you that know me, I am a Sibyl, a seer, an oracle. Okay. I am a channel. I channel with all sorts of divine frequencies. I do serve as a channel for the Neteru, and Sekhmet, Offset, and Kebhet gave me some really interesting information along with Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Nachiel, who is the intelligence of the sun. Okay. I have a lot of information to go through, and believe it or not, the impending war, the Ark of the Covenant, and these chamber discoveries all have a lot in common. They're one big happy trio there, okay? So these things tied together, and I'm going to use this video to explain to you as it was channeled to me. I did automatic writing. I took notes and everything for you guys, so that way I could make sure I communicate this as clearly as possible, okay? So I'm going to start with the discoveries in Kemet, aka present day Egypt, okay? So this is not just like Spirit was like, this is not just about archaeology, okay? These findings, finding these aquifers, these chambers, etc., this is of extreme geopolitical, spiritual, and planetary importance, is what I'm hearing, okay? Um, Being discovered is what they're like discovered, quote unquote discovered, okay? So I'm gonna start this breakdown with those discoveries and that information. So let's get into it. So the hidden aquifers, ancient water technology. Everyone's shocked. Oh my goodness. I don't know why everybody's shocked. Kemet is very much the ancient future. Okay. So a lot of the technology that's presenting itself now, that shit is old, dated. Like we've been there, done that, seen it come. This society, Sekhmet wants to highlight, is an inverted society. Okay. Like this present day world is inverted. So again, we were talking about a very much inverted society. Of course, when I go to record these things, I'm going to get a hard time because it's information that these people don't want you to know. So it's fine. We're gonna go ahead and proceed through. Like I said, we're gonna start with the hidden aquifers. I'm gonna break this down. Ancient water technology. In Kemet, there were these structures that were built with really precise hydrological awareness is the word I'm going to use. Okay. Hydrological awareness. Okay. The chambers I have written here are located near subterranean water systems. Now, Tosh, how or why? Why, how? This is what everybody wants to know, right? The ancient ancestors in Kemet, they knew how to harness like magnetic water, crystalline water, water encoded with memory, etc., etc. Um, this is living water, if you will. Okay. So this was done via the Earth's grid, the Earth's ley lines. I have in my Discord, I 2 months ago did a reading regarding the manipulation of the Earth's grid and the ley lines. And also, this is done in accordance with the wonders of the world. Okay. This is something I talked about. We're going to get into how this relates to also the prediction outlook I gave regarding war. Let's hold on there. We're going to get there. So again, the ancients, we had this water done, extracted via the Earth's grid ley lines, okay? The chambers are central nodes. They're control centers, is what I have written. This is what I was told as I was channeling. They link to underground water, okay? This would be priceless in a society, in a world that is facing water scarcity. Gee, I wonder where that is. Okay, so now this also brings us back to the importance of paying attention to countries that are water poor. They may not seem poor, but they are scarce in water, is what I mean when I say water poor. Okay, so the resource war era has commenced. Okay, we're here. This is this time. Oil is out, water is in. Okay, that is the direction we're going. I gave a lot of this insight in a previous channeling I did about Zambia and all of the impending war we're facing, and how this will be a war over resources, land, um, and how it links to the importance of water. Okay, so that is also my Discord for anybody that would like to see it. Water is the new currency of power, is what I was told. Sekhmet, Offset, Kemet said, this is the new currency. This is what is power. Before it was oil. How much oil does your country have? That is why they're digging and going through shit to try and find water sources. Okay. So going forward, nations are going to be fighting over more than just oil and borders and things. This is flat out about, this is going to end up being really, it's about resources, it's about sacred elements, but it is largely, out of those resources, water holds the highest importance. Okay, we're going to give water a ranking of importance in this resource era war, sacred element war that is approaching, that we are in the midst of this right now, whether or not you realize that we are in the midst of this. Water is going to be crucial. Like, this war is over rivers, river to the sea. It's over rivers, wells, aquifers, literally river to the sea, they keep saying to me too. So this is, it's even starting, if you're in the US, like Saudi Arabia had a lot of land, a farm, if you will, in Arizona, dried up, sucked up a lot of their aquifers. They are fueling their own farms here in other foreign, well, here in America, also in other countries like Zambia, okay, in Africa. They are utilizing those water resources there, okay, because they don't have any in their own country. They need to grow their shit and feed their people somehow, some way. So if we have to come into your land and dig up your shit and take your water and suck you dry so we can grow stuff here on your land and send it back home, that's what we're going to do. That's the era we're in right now. Okay, that is happening. Okay, I want everyone to understand that. You are going to see a lot more of this going into other countries, using their water, their farms, their other resources. Quote, cough, cough, the Congo, going and just taking cobalt, taking things, you know what I mean? This is, like I said, we're in a resource war. So that is why they are digging. This is not a discovery. These aquifers, these chambers underneath the Giza plateau, none of this is just a discovery. These are strategic evils hunting for this. Okay, I don't want anyone to think this is just on a whim and it's, oh, this is a discovery. No, 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 no. That's not what this is. Okay, they are strategic. They are very much strategic. These evils come in various forms, is what I'm told. It could be state actors, corporate entities, just overall private interests. They are racing to get access to ancient systems, i.e., these chambers underneath of Kemet, okay? So that they can control who gets access to clean water. That's what that's about. That's what was channeled to me from Sekhmet, Offset, Kebhead. That is the primary reason for that. Okay. Moving on. So there have been countless prophecies, if you will, revealings that we will face. There's warnings, if you will, of great drying, plagues, of thirst, all of those things that we will suffer. And now here we are in a war over sacred elements. So the war of sacred elements and resources is upon us, like I said before. You guys can reference Book of Revelations, Book of Enoch. There's a lot, Apocrypha. All of these warnings are there. And the walls of Kemet, like with it, they're there. They're written there. Okay. Now the problem is with them digging into shit they don't need to be digging in. Right? These chambers that are, underneath these structures, they're finding I just want to give this warning. This is a courtesy warning from Sekhmet. These chambers, should they be breached without proper spiritual protocol, it's going to unleash ancient energies that you people are not prepared to deal with in any way, shape, or form. This is a triggering of extreme karmic consequences, consequences that are not favorable at all for the people trying to seek this stuff. So, like, it would also cause massive geological changes. I'm seeing, like, I'm literally seeing shifting, like, areas that should look one way are going to look totally different, like the desert being flooded. I also predicted this in my yearbook 2025 prophetic projections. Go read it, check it, whatever. A lot of this is aligning with that. This is not good. I don't know anywhere if anyone hasn't picked that up. This is not good in any way, shape, or form. Now, Tosh, how does this relate to the Ark of the Covenant? How does this relate to the Ark of the Covenant? Okay, I'm going to tell you how. Okay, this info magically coming out. Everything is strategic and planned on this planet. I want you guys to know that, for starters. Like, it's not like this information was just, oh, it's just declassified. It's time. There's a purpose for it. Project Sunstreak happened in fucking 1988. Why are we just now finding out about these details? It was always meant to be this way. And this is a sign, an indicator for those that are hunting this energy, this sacred object, this sacred relic, okay, the Ark of the Covenant. This object is wanted deeply, passionately by the devil, okay? Wants it so bad, it's willing to infiltrate so many other entities, beings, states in order to put it on them to seek this device out. It's also for people that want to invert and pervert power in a really high regard. That's really not a good idea for you. And I'm going to tell you guys why. We're going to go ahead and break this down now. Go from there to the middle. Oh, there we go. All right, guys, we're back. Conveniently, sorry, my husband's helping me with something. So conveniently, like I said, the Ark of the Covenant is being discussed, right? We're in the midst of this. This is, again, very strategic. It has nefarious underlying intent. Now, the Ark of the Covenant, the happy Nile gods, the actual god of the Nile, ancient Kemetic god, Hapi, as well as his 8 children. Hapi is an androgynous Kemetic god associated with the Nile, the flooding of the Nile, extreme fertility, abundance, okay? This is sacred water energy, okay? So the Ark of the Covenant, the happy Nile gods, and the ancient Kemetic water rites that tie into the discovery of these ancient technologies and chambers we have found. These 3 points are guardians against water scarcity and plagues, is what I'm told. They're pillars that are holding the balance, the ma'at, between humans, earth, and divine supply, divine provision, okay? These are keepers of the water gates, okay? So again, all of these things, Ark of the Covenant, this ancient water technology being discovered, the aquifers, all of this is a part of a bigger nefarious plot. But again, as Sekhmet has advised, these 3 intersecting energies, the Hapi Nile gods, Ark of the Covenant, and the ancient Kemetic water rites and technology, are very important right now. That is why their energies are surfacing, like I said. The Ark of the Covenant is also known as the Ark of the Tabernacle. This is an object that, even though many are seeking it, it's like all they can do is remote view it, because most of them, you have to have sincere righteousness to be able to really even get the information on this divine object that you would even like. So most of these fucking demons don't have that, okay? They just don't. The Ark of the Tabernacle, or the Ark of the Covenant, as it is known, was set up by Moses by instruction of God, has specific measurements. See it right now. Gold, it has to be carried with gold rods. It has the 2 cherubims with the wings. We're going to get into it, okay? This is, like I said, wanted immensely by the devil and the devil's nefarious forces, okay? Sekhmet wants you to understand this. Understand this if you understand nothing else. Okay? I touched on this earlier, but she wants me to reiterate. This is a reverted society. Technology of the ancients was really the ancient future again. So they had knowledge and technology beyond our comprehension because they really understood God and source. They were actually connected a way that we could only pray to comprehend or be connected now. So Sekhmet, Offset, and Kebhed are going to further illuminate us, okay? With regards to the connection of the Ark of the Covenant, Hopi Nile gods, and the Kemetic water rights / ancient water technology being discovered right now. Why? Because this, again, they directly connect to Ma'at, which is divine balance in this world, and they directly connect to the spiritual resource flow of this world, like the divine provisions God is willing to give us. Okay, so the Ark of the Covenant, representation of God. It's like a seat, a throne for God. Okay, it also has extreme energy conduction, like the energy that comes off of this, like an unrighteous human, you'd be struck dead when you walk near it. Honestly, a good example is that even people with good intent, like think of the Book of Samuel, Uzzah, even with good intent, trying to go and fix the Ark of the Tabernacle, God struck him dead because you are not worthy to touch this. You have not even been consecrated in the right regards. So them hunting for this is really laughable to me. I'm not even going to lie. I'm bringing up this information, and I feel like they're doing it with hopes that it'll lead them to pinpointing the exact location, because they're still not that they're unsure. I think they are unsure. They've narrowed it down. But they cannot get access to this area by any means. And the country in which it is located is not playing with y'all. Okay. You're not able to just go up in there and do whatever you want. It's not going to happen that way. This ark is a contract between mankind and source and God. So it's for us to uphold balance, like I said, sincere righteousness. This is in exchange for divine provisions, blessings from God. You want plentiful water, fertile land, and spiritual power. That's what this gives. So that's why nefarious forces were hunted, especially the devil, of course. The spiritual power is the biggest part of it, obviously. So when you break the covenant, when it's broken via greed and war and evils and all the stuff we see going on right now, the desecration on this earth, okay, then scarcity is not only a punishment, it should be expected. Like, I don't want to hear any, oh my gosh, I'm shocked that we're all starving and thirsty and this and that. Everyone's dying. You're shocked. I don't want to hear anybody shocked. Nobody should be shocked in any regard. Nobody should be shocked. The ark does contain like 3 energies, objects, whatever. It is fiercely protected by seraphims, and some other ancient Kemetic energies. Obviously, as I mentioned, the Hopi Nile gods, just to name a few. I'm not going to tell you guys all of them. I'm just not. So these people are really just trying to access power that is divine and righteous and uncorrupted when they are corrupted, because it has a lot of the original codes of divine law inside of it and creation. It's really a threat too. It's a threat to any force that intends to invert it, for any physical or spiritual force, that if you thrive in control, chaos, distortion, evil, you don't really want to, or any kind of disconnection from God, you don't want to go near this ark. Like it is, like I said, fiercely protected. Like strike you dead, protected. So with the Hopi Nile gods, that symbolize, like I said, abundance, the flowing and flooding of the Nile, the wrath of the Nile. Like when you violate this covenant, there's mass flooding or there's mass drought, etc. Those things, that comes into play at this time. So keep an eye out for that. the Hopi now gods work in accordance with like nature and mankind. So it's about your reverence. So again, just like the Ark of the Covenant, it's about your reverence. Then the third, the ancient Kemetic structures for the water rights, all of that. That is about your reverence. The Kemetic water rights, it's a command of sacred flow. Okay. So this is about gathering, charging, and like actually redistributing water physically and spiritually to the land. Okay. But you have to do it with alignment and respect. So these people are trying to dig out and get these things that aren't even going to work for them anyway. They can't access it. These three energies, they're all part of a bigger planetary grid of divine flow. Like I said, the way they're strategically in accordance with certain ley lines. Um, and honestly, I do feel like because they're bringing up all of these things, these ancient technologies, these energies, there is going to be a retreat of water. Like we're going into some kind of drought of some sort too. So they're all trying to access these evils, disagreeables, trying to access these divine energies, Ark of the Covenant, ancient Kemetic water technologies, okay, and the Hopi Nile gods, okay? They're trying to access all these energies in order to exploit divine power. They do not have the proper alignment to even do so. The Ark of the Covenant, it's going to bar entry from the unworthy regardless. So I don't want to say like them finding this ancient technology in Egypt is pointless, but it's kind of pointless. I'm not gonna lie. It is kind of pointless. All you guys are doing is disrupting the earth in a way that you guys can't even compensate for. The arc, it can rewrite reality. I can see it can actually rewrite reality. It does it through like law and light and sound. Okay. So this is a huge key. They keep telling me keys. This is a huge key, like ankhs, like the ankh. It's a huge key to the end game of spiritual warfare, is what I wrote down here when I was channeling. So this is between sovereignty and slavery, light and counterfeit light, okay? Because they will come as if they are bringing light. Lucifer, okay? They will come as if they are bringing light. It's not the light you want. We want a green light. We don't want this amber light. We want a green light, okay? Agreeable and disagreeable. They did show me that the priesthood of the ark is fiercely monitoring this and protecting it. I'm not really sure how you guys would. I know where it is. I'm not sure that you guys would ever really be able to access it because, yeah, good luck with that. You're not properly sanctified. You don't have the correct spiritual authority. It's just not. I don't see the possibility of it happening here. I'm gonna leave it at that because I can't really say anything else that I wrote here because it would give out way too much information. But these three energies, like I said, all coming up this time, these ancient water technology discoveries, the talk of the Ark of the Covenant. They've been talking about Kemetic and Egyptian gods nonstop, but specifically the Hopi Nile gods, like Hopi and his 8 children, integral 3 center points for what is going on. And this is all of this information centers around the resource war that the world is about to be thrown into. Before I go, I do want to say this. Oh, well, Sekhmet, Offset, and Kephet, thank you for listening to the message they channeled through me. I do want to say this. Shiloh is very important because of how long the tabernacle covenant was located there previously. So a certain country like Israel that is committing genocide, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. It has a lot to do with the energetic charge that's on land that they're only able to occupy because it's not actually theirs. So in order to gain unfiltered access to this land, resource, energy for spiritual gain and power, under the guise of anyway, because that's not what's about to happen for them. Um, that has a lot to do with the driving factor of this genocide. And I will just say this: hell is hot, okay? And to com- initiate basically a holy war for the sake of trying to pervert and gain access to resources for more power. No, 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 no. God is not happy. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. Shiloh is very important as it pertains to this. I wouldn't be surprised if that is, we start hearing about that next, but all of these things being talked about are not coincidental. These discoveries are not coincidental. This information being released after years is not coincidental. And I will also say this: any other remote seers, if you are able to see that location, which I know there's only a handful of us really that can, you better not share this without problem until it is time. When it's ready, it will reveal itself. You better keep your fucking mouth shut. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. And make sure you psychically protect yourself if you do have the ability to see such. Please do so. That is not information. I don't even need to deal with the desecration. Okay? I don't need to deal with it because it's not a whole lot you can do with this without having the proper righteousness, but or sanctity. But so you'll be right there. You'll be just like Uzzah in the Bible. So it's okay. But I love y'all. Have a beautiful day.